Hello everyone, let's learn today about the shadow AI, the hidden risk.
There's a massive security risk lurking inside most companies right now. And it's probably not what you're thinking. We're not talking about some shadowy hacker in a dark room or a sophisticated virus. No, this threat is coming from your own team. They're operating right out in the open, but they're completely invisible to your IT department. We're diving into the story of shadow AI. Okay, it all kicks off with this one. Kind of scary number, 48%. Just like, let that sink in. Think about your team right now. Statistically, that means almost half of them, half, are taking your company's internal data, things like customer lists, maybe even your secret strategic plans, and just pasting it right into public AI tools. And look, they're not trying to be malicious. They're just trying to get their work done faster. But the fallout from this, whoa, it's absolutely staggering. And this whole thing, it actually has a name. This is Shadow AI. Yep, it's basically the digital version of a secret, off-the-books project running right under your nose, completely in the dark. So let's break it down. What is shadow AI, really? What actually happens when this incredibly powerful tech is running wild, completely outside of any IT oversight?
Well, to put it simply, it's any AI tool that your team is using without getting the green light from IT or security. Think about your marketing person using some cool new AI image generator for a campaign, or an engineer who's stuck, so they paste a chunk of your company's private code into an AI to help them debug it. It's powerful stuff, but it's operating in the wild. No fences, no rules, no supervision whatsoever. And this right here is where the real problem starts. You've got this clash between good intentions, people just wanting to be more productive, and the absolute need for security. So let's dig into why this combination is just so incredibly risky. Right, and this is the most important thing to get. There's no villain here, okay? Your employees aren't trying to sabotage the company. They're just trying to do their jobs faster, better, using the awesome new tools that are out there. The danger isn't the why, it's the what happens next, the unseen consequences. But here's the thing. Those totally innocent, well-meaning actions can lead to some really severe consequences. We're not talking about a slap on the wrist for a minor policy breach. No, no. This is a full-blown compliance nightmare that can literally put your entire business at risk. So here's that conflict in plain sight. On one side, you've got an employee who's just trying to hit a deadline. Totally understandable. But on the other side, you have the massive hidden risk of a major compliance violation. We're talking about breaking regulations, destroying customer trust, and leaking sensitive data. And these two things are happening at the same time, whether you see it or not. Okay, let's get into the specifics because this is where it gets real. If you're a tech company, you live and die by your SOC 2 compliance. If you're in healthcare, it's all about HIPAA. Well, Shadow AI puts a huge target right on the back of both of them. And here's the really scary part. Once your secret sauce, your proprietary code, your financial data goes into one of these public AI models, guess what? It can become part of its training data forever. That's a data leak you can't just plug. It's out there, and you might never get it back. And this problem is a way bigger deal for certain types of businesses. Let's take manufacturing SMEs, so small to medium-sized companies. They're jumping on AI to make their production lines more efficient, which is awesome. But they often don't have a big dedicated security team watching over everything. And that, right there, makes them a prime target for all the risks that come with shadow AI. So, okay, the problem is huge. It's invisible, and it's definitely growing. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. There is a solution, and it's a pretty modern answer for a very modern problem. It's something called a vCISO. That stands for Virtual Chief Information Security Officer. Basically, think of it like having a world-class security expert on speed dial. You get all the high-level strategic thinking you need to fight threats like shadow AI, but without the massive cost of hiring a full-time top-level executive. For a startup or a growing business that needs that elite security guidance but just can't afford a full-time CISO yet, it's a total game changer. So, how does a vCISO actually fix this mess? Well, they have a really straightforward three-step playbook. First step is detect. They bring in the right tools to uncover every single unapproved AI app that's being used on your network. Step two is assess. They look at each tool and figure out the real risk. Is this thing a compliance time bomb, or is it actually pretty harmless? And finally, step three is manage. This is where they help you build a smart, common sense policy. And listen, this isn't about banning AI. It's about creating a whitelist of approved, safe tools and, just as important, showing your team how to use them the right way. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to just shut everything down and go back to the dark ages. It's about taking this hidden risk and turning it into a managed strategic advantage. It's about dragging that shadow AI out of the dark and into the light. Look, the future isn't about trying to avoid AI. I mean, that ship has sailed, right? It's impossible. It's about learning how to embrace it safely. The real goal here is to make AI visible, to make it secure, and to transform it from the scary hidden risk into a powerful, totally transparent asset that actually helps your company grow.
So, that's where we'll leave it. That 48% we started with, it's not just some abstract statistic. It's a reality, and it's playing out in companies all over the world right now. So the only real question left for you is, do you really know what's hiding in your shadows?